Get the trailer with the speedboat.
I think we had to give them the trailer to get the thing out of the studio.
Yeah, I just got visions of them trying to get this on a bus, you know, trying to somewhere. And
we did help the winners wheel the speedboat out of the studio.
Yeah.
Whether we encouraged them to take it home was another question. I think we did give them the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Maybe Daphne Fowler was outside with a Mini that she won with a tow hitch, and she
and a T-shirt on the back.
And do that on the back, yeah. Is when you used to interview the contestants, and you would say something, and you could see the look of maybe have I said the wrong thing there on your face. No. But that's what to me that made it. It was great because you couldn't edit that out. Today they would have edited it out. It was left in, and I think that was a secret.
My performances on Bullseye for the first 5 years, we valued television by millions. There was so much naivety, inexperience. I thought as a fairly bright stand-up comic, I can do a game show, like doing a quiz in the pub.
Yeah.
So only when they realised you've got 9 cameras, all to be respected, boom, mic, sound, all to be taken into account, as well as the rules of the game. You know, it wasn't an easy game to do. But the producer said to me, "I'm interviewing you now, and you're a contestant. You're not too comfortable because all this ironmongery around you, and pressure, and 500 audience, and the chap from Barnsley who's just got a carpet, all this around him." And I say to him, "So you're a plumber then, are you, from Barnsley?" You're going to say,
"Yes, I am."
Yeah. What I should say, "What do you do for a living?" I was so wanted to be safe in what I said. I gave the answer. I didn't want any gaps.
But you had in those days there was no
no auto cue.
Auto cue. So it had to be ad lib, and it had to be.
And it painfully was.
No, but I think that's what made it a success, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where a lot of modern shows go wrong now. It's all tweaked beforehand.
And it's also become very inflexible. There are no grey areas.
No.
As you say, like tipping point, but it's all bump, wrong, bump, 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 bump. With Bullseye, there was a bit of chemistry to the question. There was also there was a chance that the next partner could get the question. All sorts of elements surrounding the which are not in these things. There's no options in these quizzes.
No.
Once that mark's gone up to that, once that light's gone up to that line, stop. You're in the red. You're up. It's mechanical, which dehumanised what Bullseye had. The common touch, because I'm fairly northern and down market, which is what the press describes.
I would call it as honest.
Yeah, well,
I would call it honest. Do you not think so?
No, I think that's right. I think the other big thing it did, of course, it ran for 16 years.
Yes, it did.
Which gave it.
And you had a 12 million audience.
We peaked
around 12.
On Boxing Day, 1989.
Yeah.
We peaked at 18.9 million. Number one.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And for that amount of years, 15 years, wasn't it, right?
Yeah, 15 years. Every Sunday, we did 360 shows, 13 a week for 2 weeks, 2 shows a night.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks. Then we'd done 26 shows. In there, a Christmas special.
Yeah.
That was a year's television in 2 weeks. So it was economical. Mine, Bradley's doing 5 chases a day.
Yes, I know. They do them in blocks, don't they? Same as Eggheads.
Egghead.
Yeah. Block bookings, that's right.
So that, also no studio audience.
No.
So it's dehumanising them. So much of the chemistry is going out of the window anyway. Just by the way
agree.
Things are.
I agree, because that was no canned laughter in Bullseye for sure, was it?
No, there wasn't.
And some of on Challenge, Challenge would have loved to have been here today, and they did want to be here today, Challenge TV, because obviously they're still showing Bullseye, and for the younger audience that never saw what we saw when we were that age.
That's what amazes me. The youngsters like it.
Yeah, because it just had that perfect chemistry of the ideal game.
And if we all knew what that mix was,
Yes.
we'd all be millionaires, wouldn't we?
Yes, we would.
Because the composition of the show was magic. It was by accident, virtually just by accident. I said to one chap on the programme, he was a Barnsley miner. I've got it on tape. They play it back to me now just to make me feel ill. I said to him, "What do you do for a living, John?" He said, "I've been unemployed 9 months."
Oh,
I said,
yeah.
"Smash it." If luck could have killed it, he would have.
Yeah. Well, what do you say to that though? It's, you've got to think of something quick, haven't you?
I know. When you were as naive as I was at that time in the early stages of the game, I mean, what do you say? Oh well, never mind. It'll get better. Oh well, let's get on. I should have made sure I didn't ask the question.
But
I didn't know how bad I was.
Well, that's why people used to watch it because they never knew what was going to happen. It was like and they knew it was live.
There was no ego with it. I mean, the biggest thing, a lot of these guys who do these game shows and the new comics, the guys who get live from Apollo, it's a lecture in psychology. Me watching they're all massive egos. They're going to be, not all, but the young comic is young, brash. He's always trying to make social comment. But they're in a different arena. They've got 2,000 people in a room, which immediately rubs out any semblance of intimacy. You're talking to.
You did have Charlie Williams though years ago, didn't you?
No. Charlie was a victim of the Bob Monkhouse syndrome. You follow Bob Monkhouse. Yeah. Bob Monkhouse had done the golden shot. Whatever Bob Monkhouse did in the 80s, keep away, because the man was magic.
Yeah.
He was perfection.
Yeah.
And they put a black Yorkshireman on when black was almost a novelty. Ada Ratoed Love Iron, and a face to die for, a laugh, a smile to kill for.
Yeah.
But stick him after Monkhouse, who incidentally is my dearest friend. You're putting him on a fast train, he can't drive.
Yeah.
He used to go and say, "Hey, it's all right, or have I done that?" They did, and they left it all in, and they were less forgiving here because they'd seen Monkhouse do it.
He was perfection, wasn't he? Yeah, that's right. The polished article, as they say.
Without any doubt.
Yeah.
Leaves anybody standing.
Yeah.
People used to hate him, you know. And I had lunch with him one day. I'd been having a bad day with the game, and I was at Elstree, and Bob puts in his once. Bob was I was in the second series, I think, and I saw Bob, and I knew him. I said, "Hi, Bob," and I said to him, "Oh, he said, how are you doing?" I said, "God, I'm making a mess of this Bullseye gym." And Bob just sat. He said, "Yes, you are," and carried on eating. And I walked out, and then he said, "Sit down." And he talked me through all the bits. And a perfect gentleman.
Brilliant.
You couldn't say that. I mean, you've got to say, "Yes, you are." You've got to say that well for it not to sound cruel.
Yes.
And he said it in such a way that it's, "Yeah, you are, but come on, we can sort it."
And he did.
And he did.
Yeah.
He spent ages. He said, Don't worry about your cameras. Let your director worry about cameras, because you have lights on cameras, and the deal is whatever light you're on.
Yeah, that's what you should be looking at.
You're in somebody's front room.
Yeah.
And he was great man.
Do you still see anything of your co-partner on that?
I rang him yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice lad. He was a good dart player.
Right.
We needed a good dart player to do the outshots. So when treble 19, 15, 2, Tony Green would say 61. See, I'd be going to 57. But the contestants would go off and have the lunch. I'd come back when I've worked it out.
Yeah.
And there was only me there on the first series.
Yeah. So
I had to do the count out. You see, Tony could predict what they were going to throw for. If they needed, say, 15 for an outshot,
yeah.
Tony'd whisper, not illegally, helping them, saying bottom left, don't go tops. And they'd go for top, which is 20 and 1,
Yeah.
which is 5 and 1.
Yeah.
And a whisker out, they get 5 or a 1. If they're bottom left, they'll get 16, 19. Throw it anywhere around there, you'll get 101.
Yeah.
And Tony was all the time talking them through it, but they weren't listening.
No.
They were too out of it with the technology.
Glory, yeah, maybe. We didn't dwell on is the fact that even if you were the loser in that program, you could walk away with a star prize. And how many shows can you say that about?
A lot of shows now have gambled, do the same.
Yeah.
Anton Deck, you see it tomorrow night. Gamble what you've won in your prizes for the whole board, but if you don't, you lose the lot. I mean, there are so many things we put it. Were innovative that we didn't know about.
Yes.
Because it was fresh ground. It was new ground. 1981.
Yeah.
Television was so new if you think about it.
Yeah.
In terms of production, films. I mean, the technology they've got now for making films, making a series in 7 weeks. That'll run. There's 7 1-hour shows. Now they've got all the technology, technical experience to help the presenter, in a way. I mean, I could have had an autocue there, you know, saying if the dart's gone in 15, bump, 40, 29, and I could have had numbers helping, but we didn't have that. I'm not excusing mathematical illiteracy, but I was good at maths, but the whole environment made it challenging.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well,
but they still stayed with us, didn't they?
Yeah,
for
they
16
did.
years.
Yeah. Moving on to the when you appeared on the Weakest Link.
Oh yeah.
No, you went on to loads and loads of shows. I mean, I had a look at the shows you've been on. Phenomenal amount of shows that you actually appeared in, and yes, you have. Without reading out the list, but the one I want to pick up on is the Weakest Link because you appeared on it 3 times and won it twice.
Yeah, came second on the 3rd time.
So how did Anne feel about that then?
She quite liked me.
Because she holds no prisoners as well, and of course comedians would be to her fodder for her cutting remarks.
I used to give it to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want the fodder, if you want the wherewithal to make me look funny, have a go. And she sort of took to me for that. I think she was quite surprised I was as bright as I was. Having seen me on Bullseye, she probably thought he'll be first off.
Yeah.
No, I was well. I'm reasonably right. It just that Bullseye didn't exactly exhibit my academic and intellectual skills.
No, but it was.
I'm glad to say.
Later on, Jim, you appeared at the Fringe 2005,
I did.
7 and 8. Now I went to the Fringe last year for the first time. It was on my to-do list, bucket list, and what a great time! You must have enjoyed that up at the Fringe.
I sold it out for 4 weeks, 2008, and we called it "You Can't Beat a Bit of Bully," and we didn't play the game.
No.
I just did. Well, I was a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
So it was a gig, but it was a gig with so much texture because all I did was there was enough material in Bullseye to get an hour. So I barely touched the game. I told stories about when I was adopted, when I was at school, when I failed my GCSEs, in the army, and I built it into a solid after-dinner speech.
Yes.
So at the Fringe, I was home, and there were all 200 of them.
Yeah.
There, ready for it. They paid to see me.
Yes.
Which I didn't get a lot. So I had a ball. Because comedy and entertainment, leisure time, it's all moved beyond my ken, I think. And whether I'd be a novelty item as an old-fashioned stand-up storyteller, I think I'd survive at that. But in 2008, whenever it was, I was still on the edge of the life experience. Yeah. What helped a lot was all the catchphrases and all, they were all around, and we became like a cult in a way.
Yes.
And did very well.
Jim, we've got an award to give you from Quiz Britain. 2,000 people voted on this. As you know, 2 years ago we had a poll on the favourite quiz show of all time, which Bullseye won.
Yes.
And you'll be pleased to know that you won the favourite quiz show host of all time.
It's been entirely my pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.